Hello again, YouTube. Today we have two brand new products for you. This is the HWP-125GS, and yes, the GS does stand for Grapple saw. And the second new product that we have is the inverted splitter from Halverson as well. This is prototype number 4. That is prototype number 1. We did have Glenn and his team here about a week ago on their way back from Maine when they were up at the Northern Logger Show, and I pretty much had to beg, steal, and borrow that off of him to make sure that we had it here for today's video shoot, because I've been asking for that for a while now. I see a lot of different opportunities for that, and as well as the grapple saw. The pile that you do see behind me is my discard pile, anything 18 inches and bigger, and really some rather ugly looking stuff with knots and twists and grinds coming all out of it. So we're hoping to be able to use this grapple saw to go through an oversized piece of wood like this one, and then once the rounds are cut, use the inverted splitter to go through and crack them up. On the grapple saw here, you will see it does look like a frostbite style grapple with a single actuating cylinder here to come down and grab the piece of wood. The saw motor on this is the very same saw motor that is also on the 120 wood processor. So we're kind of using a lot of common themes and parts between the different product lines to get these two products out to you. So the more common stuff that we use, hopefully the less inventory that there is, and then the less cost, so we can get these out pretty reasonably done. And so with that, let's do a little walk around and I'll tell you all about them. All right, with this being prototype number 4, I spent some time with Halverson trying to troubleshoot this a little bit. Not really that it's a problem, but just trying to get more length out of the chain. As you can see here, the saw motor does sit back quite a bit off the grapple, so he's going to move that forward on the newer models, keeping the same bar and chain, I believe, but just moving it closer to where the grapple actually sweeps in and out, and that's going to add all the extra length that we need to get this up towards that 30-inch number for going through the big diameter stuff, or just a whole big grapple full of smaller diameter firewood logs. The actual grapple here is about 45 inches from bottom to top. There we go. There's 44, and then it shrinks going back. So you're about 45 out here. You're about 29 inches wide on the grapple itself. And again, this one's featuring about 22 to 24 inches worth of cutoff space, depending where the saw is on the grapple itself. But it went through these 20-inch logs with no problem. We did make about, 8 different cuts there. This was my first time in the Bobcat with this attachment on, so if it looked a little clunky, I was still figuring some things out on the inside as well. But we'll go ahead and get this taken off, grab the new inverted splitter, go over top of each of these, and make them smaller. out that wasn't as buttery smooth as I would have liked it to have been for the video, but run a little bit pressed on time. You get the general gist of how this thing is going to work. It's a little bit different looking out through the cab. Never really had to run it before. Wasn't sure if it was going to be easier to come over top of it and then lower in, or curl it back and then drop over it. That seems to be the better way of doing it, at least in this Bobcat, looking out over top of the inverted splitter here. But you get the general gist of it. I mean, once you got the hang of it here, probably the last 5 or 6 logs, the first 2 were a little glitchy, shall we say, but being true to the channel, I'll leave that on there and won't delete it out. I mess up just like everybody else does. I do my best to give you a nice smooth product demonstration, but every now and again this happens. It's new. This is the first time I've ever hooked it up to this machine and actually split something across it, so you kind of get to see the virgin run there, and I'm pretty pleased with it. You know, it's going to be the dynamic duo between the grapple saw and the inverted splitter, taking care of anything that's in a larger diameter than what the 120 or the 140B will actually process. Again, thanks for watching the channel. Prototype number 4 on the grapple saw, prototype number 1 here on the splitter. The grapple saw will have a 30-inch cut length on it, and the saw, or the splitter here, will have a 30-inch diameter for the, or length for the split. See, I can't even talk right, so my mind's just going a mile a minute, the different opportunities that are out here on the 2 units. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check us out over on Facebook, and we'll see you next time.